Hello guys, and welcome back. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, doing what you're told to do. Anyway, yes, as the title says, we've got some problems with the old tow beast over here, the 550. Yesterday I left site, and it's about 2.5 hour drive home from the site, and there's a lot of hills. It was really crappy roads, and I was about a mile down the road from pulling into my yard, and all of a sudden the truck just started to sort of spit and sputter and lost power. And then a notification came across the dash that said reduce engine power, and I was just slowing down at a pretty fast rate. And then the next thing it said low fuel pressure, and then the truck basically came to a stop. I had people behind me, so I pulled over. When I pulled over, the truck just stopped. It stopped alongside the road. So I put it back up in park, turned the key, it spit and sputtered for a bit, and then it picked it up, and I was able to limp it back to the yard. And I actually, when I was turning and coming back in to park, it shut off again and just coasted back into place. So then today I came out in the morning to fire it up, and it just sits there and sputters. It just won't start. It won't start. So here's what I went and did. So I took my 2020 and I went to the dealership, and I picked up fuel filters and some fuel treatment. So I'm hoping that there's water in the fuel, or the fuel filters are bad and they got to be replaced. So I'll drain the fuel out of the filters and put new filters in and prime it, let it cycle through, and it will fire up. If you're looking for a video on how to change these filters, I have a separate video out on this that you guys can check out. I'm not going to show you the process today, but there's two filters on these trucks. There's one underneath the hood. So we got one fuel filter right there, and then on the pickup trucks, the filter's on the other side, the driver's side, but right next to the fuel tank, right on the back of the fuel tank. So that's where that is. And on the cab and chassis, my tank is at the back here. So my fuel filter underneath is right underneath here. So I've drained the fuel out of the water separator, and now I'm going to pop these filters out and put the new ones in. Also, if you are wondering, the oil filters on the 2020 are still the same as the 17 to 19, but the fuel filters have changed. I confirmed that today. So, fingers crossed, guys, that is the issue. I also grabbed some anti-gel fuel treatment that I'm going to use as well. Hopefully that is the problem. I will also unhook my FRP sensor, which is right down there, and I'll reconnect that. I'm gonna hook up my my data monster. I'm gonna take it out of the 2020 here, and I'm gonna hook it up into the 550, and I'm gonna see what comes up as a code. And then once I change the filters, I'll clear the code, and hopefully that is it. Because if that's not it, the FRP sensor is probably gone bad, which does happen. And if those two things aren't it, it is the dreaded fuel pump. There's really nothing else that it could be. So anyway, I'm going to change these filters out, and then I'll update you guys and let you guys know what's going on. I'll show you the code that comes up, and fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Alright boys, so I figured one code. We've got 4 codes, but these are pending. So this one, fuel rail system. So system pressure, too low. Yes, we know that. So there's a pending one right here, fuel rail, so that's the same one. Next one is fuel system leak, and it says large leak. And then also pending is an injector control pressure too low, engine cranking. So hopefully that is all because of the fuel system. So like I said, fingers crossed. All right boys, listen to her. Listen to her purr. Yes sir. Okay, so I can tell you I was getting pretty nervous. So I had about a quarter of a tank, a little under a quarter of a tank left in this. when I came. Now, possibly there may be an issue. Try to get the sun out of here. Possibly there may be an issue with my sensor inside the tank letting me know how much fuel I have left. So after I replaced the filters, I came in and I let the truck cycle a few times, and I came back and listened, because you can hear it as it's purging the air and stuff through the lines. It just sounded like the pump was blowing bubbles. So the pump was working, but it sounded like the pump was blowing bubbles and it wasn't getting any fuel. And then when I went up to the front of the truck, to the filter up there, you couldn't hear anything. You just heard tss, but you didn't hear any liquid like flowing through. And I primed it, or I cycled it like 10 times, and I tried to start it and nothing was happening. So what I did, I had probably about a half a slip tank of fuel, and I put that into my tank, and then I cycled it. And after I did that, you could hear the difference. You could hear the air start blowing through the lines. You could hear the fluid start going through the lines. I did it like 5 times, and then I went up to the front. So I went up to the front of the truck, to the filter up here, and then you could just start to hear it come through. And I went inside, turned the key, and she started to spit a little bit, and then it fired right up. So there it is. And let's, you can see there's no engine lights on right now. So let's check to see if we have any codes showing up right now. I did clear the codes from the last time. So this one may be from just starting to start it a few times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this. I'm going to clear this code, and I will go for a drive and I'll check the code again and let you guys know. But it looks like the problem has been solved. Alright, so far it seems so good. Taking for a little drive without the trailer. I'm gonna fill up the tank. I put some additive in it, some Ford anti-gel and performance additive. I'm gonna fill up the tank because I put about twice as much as what it calls for, and I'm gonna go for a quick little drive with just the truck. I do not have the trailer behind me. If something was going to happen, I'd rather it happen with just the truck than having the truck and the trailer.
Phone disconnected.
So we will see what takes place. Let's go for a little spin. Well, all right, boys, I think we are good to go. I think we are good to go. I probably took it for about a 10-mile drive, filled her up. Everything seems to be working perfect when I step on it. Power is there, as much high-end power as what these D-rated trucks have anyway. It's there. So yeah, if you have that happen to you, you're losing power, and it says reduce power, and then it says low fuel pressure. First thing to do is to drain out your water separator and potentially change your filters. That's what worked for me. I'm happy that that is the case. The test will come when I hook up to my gooseneck tomorrow or Wednesday possibly, and take that to the next job site. That will be the test for sure, but everything seems fine. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helps you out there. If you're having a similar situation, don't freak out. You know, you could spend lots of money going to the dealer and letting them diagnose it. You know, diagnostic is going to cost you over $100 alone, and then plus God knows what they would have done. They probably would have spent 3 hours trying to figure it out. They would have potentially told me that my fuel pump was gone. You know, who the hell knows. But yeah, so if your truck sits around a bit like this one did, definitely change your fuel filters, drain your water separator. And I did not use any anti-gel this year. I didn't, because I didn't use any last year and everything was fine. So anyway, I'm gonna check the code when I get back, and if you don't hear from me, then everything's good. All right, guys, take care. See you next time. Bye.